One of the new things that I've implemented for this year is a very experimental thing called the AI Tutor. You can find the link to that page on the Moodle page here, the AI Tutor, or if you go to the front page or any of the teaching pages, you'll see that there's a link there to another page, the AI Tutor, which takes you to here. I want to emphasize that this is really experimental. I've done my best to vet it and see that it gives you reliable and sensible answers, but it's no substitute for actually reading the course material yourself. But I hope it's really helpful, just adding another way for you to interact with the material and check your understanding. So in order to use this tool, you're going to need to register. You need a Google account for this to work. So when you click on this link, it'll open a Microsoft Office form which just asks for your student name and ID, but then it also asks you for a Google account email, so something that's at gmail.com, which you've got access to. So once you've done that, I will have to manually add you to a system, so be patient, it won't be instantaneous, but when it's done, you should receive an email that provides you with a link to this tool. So once you click on the link in that email, it will take you to this AI page. This has a number of different aspects I just want to go through quickly. The first is something that looks very like a ChatGPT window or a Gemini window in which you can ask questions and you can explore data. But the thing that makes this different from ChatGPT or Gemini is that all of the information and answers that it gives you are based on the material that is covered in the lecture notes that go with this course. So it will, as a result, give you answers that are at the right level. You'll be able to kind of track back and see where it got that answer from in the actual notes. So it becomes a way effectively of engaging with the material in a more dynamic kind of interactive way. So you can do basic normal things that you'd expect from sort of an AI agent. You can ask it questions. So please tell me about Brownian motion. It's a concept we cover in one of the early lectures. So it gives you not only some explanation of what Brownian motion is, but I think some of the things really helpful here is you can see where in the course it's getting its answers from. So these little numbers link you back to the actual source material in my lecture notes where it's got that answer from. So you can it's worth checking that the AI is saying something that actually is what I said originally in the material that's there to help you. But in addition to just sort of using it as a sort of summarizing tool or a way to kind of pick things out of the notes, you can do extra things which are quite helpful. So could you give me some practice quiz questions so with answers about Brownian motion? So there we go. There's some questions that you can just use to check that you've understood the concepts that are going on in a particular chapter, and it gives you some answers and obviously again links to where it's got that material for. So if you didn't understand the answer, you can go and read a bit more around what's there. The other thing that this tool produces is actually a 45-minute podcast which is AI generated. But that again is based on the material in this thing, and whilst it's a bit cheesy and a bit cringy and perhaps a bit amusing at times, I've found that actually the material it's giving you is really, really helpful. Includes sort of analogies. I think particularly it's very helpful at giving you access to the concepts that are being talked around in my lecture notes, and so you can access that in this studio bit. You can just listen to
the hydrophobic amino acids and the water.
So the hydrophobic effect is basically driving the protein to fold into this specific shape.
Precisely, and that shape is.
So I think that's just a nice sort of fun way you can maybe listen to that in a way that you wouldn't be able to sort of interact with the chat engine, and maybe it gives you another way to kind of interact with the material. That podcast is available through this interface, but it's also embedded in the web pages, so you can listen to it directly without having to load kind of everything up. So it just gives you another idea. as I say, this is very new, so there are probably other ways of interacting with this tool that I haven't thought of, and I'd be really interested, particularly when we get to the module survey, for you to just give me some feedback on other ideas about how you've managed to engage with this tool. Before I finish, I just want to emphasise this warning at the top. This is an AI tool, and therefore it's experimental. It doesn't necessarily always give you the best possible answer. And so sometimes it's worth going back and really reading what the note's saying rather than relying on this. I think this is an add-on rather than a substitute. But with that said, I hope it proves to be useful, and I'd be really interested in your feedback on that.